Episode 3303, Love Like a Super Bowl Champion.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're having an incredible weekend. Hope the weather's treating you well. Hopefully it's not too cold. I know down here it's been a little bit kind of gray clouds with rain, but you know what? It's the football weekend. Yes, Super Bowl is here. But first, we've got to talk about the Super Bowl in your own home. It's called Your Marriage. Love Like a Super Bowl Champion. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already have had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter. The Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. You know, there's a lot of things that we do in life that we really don't always think through. We just kind of go through the motions. And sometimes we go through the motions because we have experienced things or things have been put in front of us. For example, how we love. Do we love well? Do we love at all? How deep do we love? A lot of times that is actually shown to us by previous relationships in our life, like our parents or whoever raised you. Could have been your grandparents. Maybe it was someone close to you. Maybe it was someone in your church, someone you kind of adopted. I know for us growing up, we moved around all the time. And so we actually kind of adopted a set of grandparents in Indiana. And to this day, I mean, they were just the sweetest thing. And we called them Grandma and Grandpa. And it was Grandma and Grandpa Lawrence. And they were just the sweetest things. And they might as well have been our grandparents. But they had an influence on how I saw couples should love each other, how a man and a woman love each other. And sometimes I think we just kind of go through the motions. We get married after we're done dating, or sometimes we don't even date at all. We just, let's get hitched and we're there, depending upon our age, right? And there's no right or wrong here, right? This is just going back into memories. But then all of a sudden life happens. You've already said I do, and you are full speed ahead, right? Foot heavy on the pedal, and you're just driving forward. And every once in a while you have to back up because, maybe you've hit a bump or something, or maybe you've hit a pothole and you've got to back up a little bit, fix something, and then you go forward again. It's full speed ahead. But we don't give a lot of thought to how our marriage really should look. And I think about the Super Bowl because I'm all about football. You know that. And when I think about the Super Bowl, I'm like, you know what? Every team starts the year, right? From the very beginning of spring training, because pretty soon the lights are going to go out on the field. They're going to have 4-6 weeks off or whatever it is. And then spring training hits and they're all in to make the team again. They got to go prove themselves, and they've got to prove that we can be a Super Bowl champion. And I thought, what if we did that in our marriages? What if we looked at our marriages and said, man, what if we as in you and your spouse, could be a Super Bowl champion all the time when it came to your marriage? What if you could sit there and just know that no matter what, you were going to win the Super Bowl? Super Bowl champions, they have fame, fortune, and a championship title. But they also can teach us a thing or two about love. And so just like in football, love requires what? Dedication, intentionality, and a strong game plan. Love like a Super Bowl champion. You've got to figure out what your game plan is. Or you're just going to be putting your foot to the pedal and you're just going to keep driving. You're going to hit potholes. You're going to have to reverse. You're going to go down some detours. You may go down the wrong street. You're going down one way and you'll be like, oh no, what happened? And you have a head-on collision and you'll be like, oh my gosh, now what? Right? Some things can actually be avoided if we actually put some thought into it, if we had a game plan. But most of us don't set out a game plan when it comes to our marriages. We just get on the field and it's like, okay, ready, hike. Oh, wait, who's got the ball? Oh, you do. Okay, go ahead, take it. I'm just going to sit back here. I'm tired. I'm going to go on the sideline. You just take and run with it, babe. You got this. And then all of a sudden you get the dogs, the cats. Maybe you live on a farm, so you have horses and cows and pigs, or maybe you have children then that come along. And then, oh, wait, then you got the parents on both sides of the family and you got grandparents. And you're like, life has all of a sudden gotten really complicated. What you thought would be an easy toss down the field now becomes a lot of detours, a lot of obstacles that get in the way. And now you're like, what is the game plan? Is it just survival? Yeah, it's easy for me. I'm just going to sit over here on the sidelines because I feel better when I'm over here. I don't have to deal with all the stuff that's on the field. I can just sit here over here. Here, I write the check, pay the bills, and now you do the rest, babe. I want you to think about your marriage in a different way because guess what? Not only is the Super Bowl right around the corner like in a blink, but Valentine's Day is too. Yes, and that's a triple blink. So if you're like, oh my goodness, Valentine's Day. Yes, already mark your calendar because it's Wednesday. And with the celebration of the Super Bowl and as Valentine's Day approaches, it's the perfect time to up your love game and become an incredible spouse. To think about, gosh, what can I do to be different? What can I do to stand out? How can I love deeper and intentionally? That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Love deeper and intentionally. It's not about just going long and saying, woohoo, I got this. Yes. Or no, I got this. I'm just sitting on the sidelines. Or maybe it's a tag team. Oh, you go here, you go long. Okay, wait. All right, I got this one. Now you go sit out and I'm going to go long. That might work for a little while. But then you get interceptions. Then you get the ball taken away. Financial hits come. You don't get the contract that you want. You're not making the money that you thought you would make 10 years later, 15 years later. Now you got 4 kids. And all of a sudden now they're coming up and they're like, oh my gosh, they need a car. You're like, how are we going to do all this? Insurance rates are going skyrocket. Inflation is a real thing. And you're like, man, what we thought we could put food on the table 12, 13 years ago now is like, man, it almost feels like it's triple the amount. Of course, the kids are grown, so they're eating more, and you have 3 boys and 1 girl. And you're like, how am I going to make all this work? Love deeper and intentionally. You got to have a game plan. If you're going to love like a Super Bowl champion, you got to show up every day with a game plan. How can I love my spouse deeper? And yes, you can look at your vows and say, oh yes, we vowed to, love for better, for worse, in sickness and in health. That all sounds great until you live real life. And then real life happens and you're like, well, that's not what my vows sounded like. I thought it was going to be easier than this. I thought it was going to be something where, we could just play games all the time and it would be fun and we'd be smiling, but man, we have to communicate. You're kind of crabby once in a while. You were never crabby when I dated you. And now, wow, you look different too. Boy, man, oh yeah. You got a little pot belly and the woman, still got those hips going. And you're like, where do we go from here? And then all of a sudden you feel like, how can we even have a winning team? Meaning your family. Because you can't even come together as a couple. My friend, I'm here to tell you, you can love deeper and intentionally, and you can love like a Super Bowl champion. It was interesting, total sidebar here, but it's fun. It's kind of neat knowledge. I don't know who makes it off the top of my head, but there is a wife, I believe, of one of the San Francisco 49ers who is making these incredible jackets, and they're selling for like $12,000. Now, the proceeds are going to a charity, which I think is fabulous, but I'm like, $12,000? I mean, hence the, fame and money and fortune and all of that. Yeah, woohoo. But in all of that, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be nice to really feel like what it means to love deeper and intentionally? And it's not about the fame and the money and the fortune and all of that. It's not about having the Super Bowl ring. It's about being a Super Bowl champion in your marriage, having a game plan that's going to take you all the way to the other side, till death do us part. That, my friend, is a Super Bowl champion marriage. And so today I want you to think about how you can love deeper with the idea of, yes, football in mind and love intentionally. Number 1, you have to have a winning mindset. In football, champions never doubt their abilities or the potential of their team, right? They're all in. The 11 guys on the field. So there's 22 because you got 11 on each team. But those 11 guys, man, they are all out and they are going to stand up for what they believe in. You and your spouse, you got to stand up for what you believe in when it comes to your marriage. So take this winning mindset to your marriage by believing in the strength and potential of your relationship. Remind yourself and your spouse of the love and commitment you share. Yes, those vows, but extend it. Say, look, it's not just about the good times, but it's also in the challenging times. Trust in your love for one another. Have confidence in your teamwork because you are a team. It takes two to tango. And face any marital challenges like the champion that you are. You can do this. You can actually win every day when it comes to your marriage. But you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to say, yeah, I'm here. I want to be a champion. I want to champion you, my sweetheart. Number 2, practice daily acts of love. Super Bowl champions don't become winners overnight, right? Yep. The lights are going to go off on the field, whatever it is, 4, 6, 8 weeks, whatever it is. They get some time off, and then all of a sudden, lights come back on, and it's spring season. Time to grind it out again. And they put in hours and hours and hours of practice each day until it comes time where they finally pick the team. Cultivating a deep and intentional love requires consistent effort and small acts of love every day. You don't just get to turn the lights out at the end of the season. The lights have always got to be on. You've got to be willing to practice those daily acts of love. Surprise your spouse with a heartfelt love note, a cup of their favorite coffee, or a random act of kindness, just because. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. In fact, I would encourage you, do something simple for Valentine's Day and then do something off the wall later. Don't be like everybody else. Love your spouse as only you know how to love your spouse. Show appreciation for their presence in your life through small gestures that speak volumes about your love and commitment. All right? Love is not just a feeling. It is a choice you make every day. All right? Love is a verb. It takes action. So practice love daily and watch your marriage thrive. But you got to be willing to put in the reps. And those reps are the daily acts of love. Finally, number 3, create meaningful experiences. You know, Super Bowl champions, they put their heart and soul into every game. Now, I would have to argue a little bit here that sometimes they're sleeping on the field. And there are times I found myself with some of my teams that I root for that I'm going, seriously, coach, why would you do such a thing? Or I'm yelling at the player like, why, Kelsey, were you doing this? You know, Patrick Mahomes, you could throw that ball better. Brock Purdy, you know better. You know how to throw. Yeah, I ask my kids. I kind of get a little bit intense when it comes to watching the football games. But every game, they're all in for the most part. And they create those memories that last a lifetime. That 2 teams get to go and celebrate and play for the Super Bowl, the coveted championship. My friend, you are married and your coveted championship is getting to the other side till death do us part. That is your Super Bowl championship. So take this principle to your marriage by intentionally creating meaningful experiences together. Plan a special date night, for example, for Valentine's Day. And you don't have to go out and spend money. Put the kids down for bed, okay? Maybe find your favorite show that you want to watch or a favorite movie. Grab a blanket and some pillows. And if you have a fireplace, set the fireplace. And if you're one who says, yeah, but it's like hot outside or it's kind of warm right now. All right, then that's fine. Just buy one of those cute little logs that only lasts like 3 hours. It doesn't put out a lot of heat, but it adds the ambiance. And if it's a gas fireplace, all you have to do is flip the switch. And if it gets too hot, turn it off. And then sit down with something sweet to drink. It doesn't even have to be a bottle of wine that's expensive. Maybe it's favorite Pepsi. That'd be what my husband would want. Me, a bottle of water. Like, I can't get any simpler than that. And sit down maybe with some popcorn. Anything that's so simple, just to hold each other. You're creating a memory. It's like their indoor surprise picnic. How cool is that? Remember, it's not about the grand gestures all the time, but about the thoughtfulness, the everyday, the effort that you put into making those moments special and memorable for both of you. Make each experience a chance to create lasting memories, adding bricks to the foundation of your love. That's what you're doing when you build a strong foundation. That's how you become a Super Bowl champion in your marriage. And remember, it's the littlest things that make the big impact. So believe in the power of your love. Practice those daily acts of love and create meaningful experiences. I promise you it will strengthen your bond. Now, life isn't perfect, and so you're going to have to work at this. You're going to have to find time. Love, just like winning the Super Bowl, requires dedication, strategy, a lot of strategy, and teamwork. I mean, think about this. If you've got kiddos, we had 5. It takes a little bit of strategy to have that one-on-one time. But I promise you, you can do it and you can make it happen. So, are you ready? It's time to gear up. Embrace the challenge and show your sweetheart what it means to love like a Super Bowl champion. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Hey, good luck to your team. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.